Whitlock and Wiley, Clay Travis is back with us. Let's move to the NBA, where LeBron and the Lakers just got some bad news with Boogie Cousins going down with a torn ACL during a private workout in Las Vegas yesterday. The injury is Cousins' third major leg injury in the last year and a half, and could keep Boogie, who was set to be the Lakers' starting center, out for the entire season. Question here is this a big deal for the Lakers and their title hopes?
It sounds like I'm about to diss Boogie, but no, it's not a big deal because he was house money. There was a reason why he was on a one-year, $3 million deal. It was kind of a prove-it situation, and you weren't betting on him because he's not reliable in terms of his durability. So this was a situation where you had nothing but upside, but I don't think that the floor drops just because Boogie's not there. That was the situation in Golden State. Unfortunately, it was the situation with the Lakers. I think they will have to move forward with the mindset as when they signed him. Not sure if he's going to be there. Now they know he's not.
I think it lowers the ceiling. I think that's what you said. They were hoping they were going to get a stock that was undervalued, that was going to skyrocket if he could come back healthy off the 2 injuries. We saw flashes. Game 2, he basically won the finals for the Warriors, and I think the Lakers were hoping they could get some consistent minutes out of him. JaVale McGee, I don't know that he's going to necessarily be able to carry the load there for the Lakers, and I think on a bigger scale, this is what has to make you nervous about the Lakers, because LeBron finally looked like he got Superman's cape tugged on a little bit when he had the injury last season. Yeah. And I'm nervous, if I'm a Lakers fan, that this is kind of an ominous foretelling of what might happen to the Lakers season, because you got an aging superstar in LeBron James. And if something happens to him now, there's not really any depth here. So to me, I looked at the analytics. According to the analytics experts, this drops him around a game and a half off of the ceiling. But I think this is in the playoffs a big deal, because he was good enough to be that third or fourth scorer you need in order to make a championship run. I think it's a big hit to the Lakers.
To me, I think it's a big hit because I think the Lakers, everything the Lakers have been doing has been based on best case scenario.
Yes.
Everybody's going to play 82.
Yes.
Blah, blah, blah. And so now the best case scenario is out the window. And I think it's a big deal because I think mindset matters a lot for the Lakers and for Anthony Davis. And Boogie was there so that Anthony Davis didn't have to play the 5. And this is another broken promise to Anthony Davis. You ain't getting your number. We stole $4 million from you.
Yeah.
Why ain't coming?
Right.
And you know what? We're going to need you to play some of the 5. And so I just think that's going to, Anthony Davis going to start looking around like, damn.
Right.
What did Rich Paul and them talk me into? Chicago. And so I just think it undermines the mindset and already starts feeding a negative narrative like, man, this just ain't gonna go.
All of them coming to get this. So it's not hazing. Let's get that out the way. Secondly, Coach, hey, you want to play me week 1? How hard are you going to try? 100%. Oh, you want me to fail? Now how hard you going to try? That's the same damn thing. So guess what? I'm not scared of you and your smoke. I understand. I agree with you. They don't want him to succeed, not just because he's going to pull more unqualified. It's because their qualifications are going to start to get undermined. Unless you're a Super Bowl winning coach, y'all all suspect. It's kind of like in the real world with education. Oh, that bachelor's is cute now. You better keep going. If not, no one's going to care about it. So I agree with you, but there's no reason for him to feel anxiety or fear. You take them one at a time, and you're always going to get their best.
Well, my point is I don't think it's going to work. I think coaches are human beings just like players. I know you look at certain teams on the schedule and say, oh, my God. We throw our helmets out there. And again, Arizona's one of those teams. And I don't think anybody's going to allow that. I don't think coaches, because coaches, again, they're just like players. They feel like, oh, man, we got one here. They're going to make sure that they get this dude. And I just think for a young quarterback like Kyler Murray to be the #1 pick, he's a bit undersized. That offensive line, they're vulnerable. Their defense, the whole thing. And so once that starts happening and everybody keeps coming over to the sidelines, like Bucky said, and there's no answers, this thing's going to go sideways and off the rails. The Arizona organization, to me, be based on what they did to Steve Wilkes and Josh Rosen, they're under a gun that I think is going to smother this.
The coaching staff and the players know what type of game planning is going on in the preseason. They know. So we can talk and say, oh, man, Kingsbury knows, okay, we're being real vanilla. His only advantage right here is the first couple games. Nobody knows what he's going to do. That's his advantage. advantage. And so he needs to keep that advantage.
Right.
So he's going to be as vanilla as he can right now. The first game, he'll have it. They don't really know. They can go watch Texas Tech. They can go watch the preseason. Be vanilla as possible because the first 2 games are what matter. And I need to have that element of surprise going into those 2 games. So I'm going to keep things under wrap.
I hear you talking about keeping it under wraps, but at some point, if you got the #1 overall pick, you got your #1 quarterback, the guy's going to be your starter, you would think that you would like to protect him. You would think that you'd like to build up his confidence, especially as we're heading into the next week, which is week 3, which is viewed as the final dress rehearsal. If I'm a starter rookie quarterback, I'm doing everything in my power to make sure that he enters the regular season confident and ready to go. You can't get him knocked around. And what we saw last night from the Raiders, they were bringing them dogs at him.
Yeah.
He didn't have any answers.
But that's unfair. Like, I mean, we should be looking at Gruden like, you're doing way too much.
I mean, it's dirty. He's a dirty pool.
I mean, it's the same thing when the Cleveland Browns come out in no huddle. We alert them. We're going to run no huddle to start the game.
Right.
It's so very similar, like, oh, we're going to blitz you. It could be what you said. We're going to blitz you, have an answer for this Mike Zimmer double-A gap blitz.
Yeah. I mean, I got in the Pro Bowl before. I remember the first series of the Pro Bowl. Ran around Chris Samuel. I was going about 80%. He was going 50. He said, you want this all game? Which speed we going to go at? That's the preseason. It's like, we got a gentleman's agreement how we going to approach this, right, John Gruden? Yeah, I do. Then blitzes are coming. So he's like, okay, I see how this is played. But look, do you want to sell them fool's gold? Let them think that, oh, this NFL is easy after week 2. Or do you want him to know that, hey, man, you're going to have to face adversity and you're going to have to climb this hill?
Well, I think Bucky's point, and it's mine, all sports and all positions, but particularly at quarterback, it's a confidence game. And if things go poorly in this preseason, it could impact Kyler Murray's confidence. Now, will it destroy it?
No, I hear you. Yeah,
his kid, his dad, the whole 9, he's built for some adversity. He'll be, being that small is adversity. He's overcome. He's built for something. But when you get out there and you find out, well, damn, these other guys is just as fast as me. And the things I used to do at Oklahoma, you know, it's not as easy here. If they rattle this kid's confidence in any way, and I don't want to make too much of it, I'm just mentioning it, I'm not trying to dwell on it, but he had an awkward little interview coming out of halftime. I'm not making, he's a different cat.
He's different, boy.
He's a different cat.
Different. I give him
and
that.
so I just, that energy and that difference, I just don't think it's going to take much when you have a coach with no NFL pedigree to get people to start questioning. What are we doing over here?
Keep questioning, because I want to give you some historical facts that I want to dwell on so people can just pause and just
failures in college, but go ahead.
Well, I don't know.
You know where you're going. Huh?
You already know. Look at when I try to diffuse it before I blow you up. Here we go. Coaches who took these teams to Super Bowls and struggled in the preseason.
Arizona's in the Super Bowl now.
No, I'm just saying. Pause. Ron Rivera, 1-3. Pete Carroll, 1-3. John Harbaugh, 1-3. Sean Payton, 1-3. And when they first become a head coach and in the preseason. And I wonder what Jason Whitlock was saying on Speak for Yourself. Probably with Colin back in the days, or when those moments were occurring. You just got to
run them names again. Pete Carroll had been at the New York Jets. Sean Payton had been with the Cowboys.
Had failures.
Who else did you name? Again,
Ron Rivera.
Ron Rivera played in the NFL.
The osmosis works, huh?
No. They're NFL people.
Bill Belichick had tremendous success with Bill Parcells and got to Cleveland. Excuse me. So don't give me this whole, you've been around it, it's just going to translate.
We've seen this dude fail where no other coach had failed for 30, 40 years.
That's real. I give you that.
I can't give you that. And somehow he gets a job. Steve Wilkes gets fired. Josh Rosen gets run out of town for that guy to go draft his 5'10" quarterback.
Nick Saban couldn't lose a collegiate game. Gets to the pros. Oh, my God. Okay, so it could go both ways. You could be the man in college, and still the NFL is going to be an adjustment.
And I'm going to tell you what NFL coaches believe. Don't bring them college dudes up in here.
That's right.
When you look at Sam Darnold last year, he didn't have a lot of weapons, but defensively, they kept him in games somewhat. You look in Buffalo with Josh Allen. Defensively, McDermott kept him in games. That defense has to keep him in games.
Well, and that offense has to keep the defense in games as well. Because if you're going 3 and out and punting and putting that defense back out there time and time again,
that's right.
and they're pinning you deep in your own territory, again, the offense helps the defense out just as much.
It's one game. This third game should be very interesting because the starters normally play at least 2 series into the third quarter. You're really going to game plan that first half. It should be very interesting.
All right, stick around later in the show. We'll give you our latest approval ratings for Kyler Murray. And jump on Twitter right now to vote on what you think Murray's approval rating should be. We'll reveal the results later in the show. Also coming up, Ezekiel Elliott still isn't getting the deal he wants from the Cowboys, but have his fellow running backs actually come up with a solution. We'll get into that next.